Howdy, folks. Would you Wells from needcoffee.com here. Back again for another Wayhomer review. For the uninitiated, here's how it works. I have just left the cinema. That's that behind you. And you're going to hurt someone with that. Anyway, I've seen a film, and I'm going to tell you about that film on my way home. And before I tell you what film that we're going to talk about, I'm going to tell you this. I have a brilliant idea about what to do with people who bring little kids to films that they're not supposed to be at. It's an 11 o'clock showing of an R-rated film, and somebody's got a baby in the cinema. So here's my thought, is yes, you can bring your baby to the cinema, but the tickets for babies are now 3 times whatever the adult price is. You know why? Because you shouldn't bring your baby to the cinema. And don't be saying, oh, it's not fair to people who have babies. They probably chose to have that baby, number one, so they deserve what's coming to them. And number two, it's not like it's not going to be on DVD in 2 months. For God's sake, you probably haven't watched all the DVDs you've got on your shelf. So stay home or pay 3 times the amount. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. My rates are reasonable. We're here today to talk about Safe House. Okay, so, Safe House. What can we say? Safe House is this. It's Cape Town, South Africa. We are introduced to our friend Matt, played by Ryan Reynolds, who is a housekeeper for a CIA safe house. Safe house, of course, being exactly what it says. A secure location in which you can do stuff, store stuff, keep people, whatever, in theory. He's in Cape Town, South Africa. Not much is going on. He basically sits around and listens to his iPod and doesn't do much else. But try to make excuses with his hot girlfriend because she doesn't know that he's working for the CIA. Now, enter Tobin Frost, played by Denzel Washington, who is a rogue agent who apparently has turned himself in, supposedly, and has something that a lot of people want. A lot of people with automatic weapons, to be more specific. And they bring him into the safe house. You've seen the trailer. You know that things go crazy and hijinks ensue. Lots of automatic gunfire, driving, and kicking people. That's a synopsis that'll work. Okay, so here's the deal. Practically any film with Denzel Washington in it is worth seeing from jump, simply because he's in it. He takes any material that he's got and he elevates it like crazy. So, even utter crap films I will watch just because Denzel Washington's in it, because he's always worth watching. So, you know the film's going to be at least worth watching. Now, what they've set up is, because they're making Denzel Washington play mastermind rogue agent guy, you get to see Denzel Washington do all kinds of stuff. Handle guns, fight, mess with people's heads, and give the most sinister smile you have seen this month. So, he's fantastic. So you've got him working his thing, and you know that's going to work, so that's fine. But the question comes into, how's the rest of it? And more specifically, how's Ryan Reynolds? I think that's probably on your mind. Now, I'll say, I don't have anything against Ryan Reynolds. I actually don't really hold Green Lantern against Ryan Reynolds, because I don't think anybody could have said, I think the only way you could have saved Green Lantern to make it worth watching would be to have Denzel Washington play Jon Stewart. There you go. That would have worked. But beyond that, I don't think you could have saved it at all. Now, so Ryan Reynolds is fine. In fact, he's actually a really good choice for this, because he can do that kind of I still believe kind of innocence thing, and yet he's sort of believable when he's punching people. And that's what you want. So they've set him up so that he's good, but he's not that good. And so that makes sense, and you've got a nice dynamic going between these two characters who are alternately trying to kill each other and trying to figure each other out. So that's good. The whole mystery of what's going on is not the best that you've ever seen. But really, when you set up the fact that you've got the two characters who are working at somewhat cross purposes a lot of the time, and you get to see them do their thing, that's almost secondary. It really is a MacGuffin designed to set up this movie so it can happen. And so I'm kind of okay with that. So that's all good. The action sequences are quite good. The fight sequences are almost a little too shaky for what's going on, but the main thing is you can still understand what's happening, who's punching who, and what's going on. I don't know if it was just the fact that I was distracted by a baby, but there was a couple of lines that I couldn't hear that may not have been the film's fault. And your supporting cast, I mean, you've got Sam Shepard, you've got Brendan Gleeson, you got a good supporting cast. Robert Patrick, so they're all good. So it's a good, solid film. Is it the best type of thriller thing? I won't even say espionage, because there's a bit of that, but it's mostly just cars and guns, which is fine. Is it the best one of those you're probably going to see this year? Probably not. But it is worth checking out just for Denzel Washington. And for the description that one of the characters says about it. I don't want to ruin who it is or what it said, but when you hear the description, you're going to go, yeah, that's totally him. So, yes, what I would say is this. If you are a fan of Denzel Washington, then you should see the film. When you see the film, all depends on, how much you want to see Denzel Washington punch and smile in a menacing way. I'm on board with that myself. I would say if you are going to go see it this weekend, do grab a matinee and save a few bucks. If, for whatever reason, you're counting your dollars, or you're just, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't make you go, yes. If you don't feel that yes, then wait for DVD. My God, it'll be out in May at the latest. And all you people with babies can watch it then. I'm not bitter. Anyway, so yes, worth seeing, yes. And to go back for a second, if you're a fan of Denzel Washington, there's all that. If you're not a fan of Denzel Washington, I don't want to know you. So, there you go. Cup-wise, I will say that I would easily give it like 3 out of 5 cups. But I think Denzel, because he elevates, because that's what he does, I would give another half a cup just for Denzel Washington, just for watching him work, because it's so good. So there you go. Short and sweet for Safe House. Which is not to be confused with Silent House, although they did have that trailer before the film. Would have been an entirely different film if I would go see Silent House if Denzel Washington was in it. He could play the house. I wouldn't care. I would go see it. But anyway, so there you go for Safe House. Another Wayhomer in the bag, so to speak. So thanks to everyone who watches these things, and as always, you can find us various places. But one place is, are you our friend on Facebook? Because we want to be your friend on Facebook. It's kind of like, I don't know. I almost felt like Mr. Rogers saying that. But no, you can find us at needcoffee.com/Facebook. And that's where we do part of our thing. So we will see you next time. And there's the homeless guy panhandling who's going to try to guest star on this.
Oh my.
He passed us by.
In the middle of traffic.
He passed us by. I wonder why. I'm not even going to stop to ask the crazy guy getting filmed for any money. That's a smart dude. I give him 3.5 cups. I'd give him a cup of coffee if I had one to hand him. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Bye. Never a dull day in Atlanta traffic. Sadly enough.